Hello and welcome to this week's tarot reading for all fire signs. I hope that this finds you well. I trust that you'll use your own intuition as your primary instrument of resonance, leave behind what does not reverberate. Tarot does not tell the future. The only thing that determines your future is how you react, reflect, and respond to the messages herein. This month's reading is for the full moon that is happening in the nakshatra of Uttara in the portion of Capricorn. Uttara is the pinnacle of solar energy, and in this we can come to understand that this is the part of the firmament where the godly forces have their final victory over the demonic forces. This is also why Uttara means later victory. It is quite a beautiful instance that we are experiencing this full moon in the nakshatra, as full moons represent the coming to an end, and in relation to oneself, that solar energy, we can be confident that we are also having our own final victory over any malefic or damaging forces that aim to overshadow the ultimate truth and our vitality. We may be feeling a sigh of relief as we move away from this full moon and into the new moon, where we can recuperate and strive towards fortifying and tending to our victories in an expansive and creative way. As I stated on my Twitter, I have some new tarot decks that I want to bring to you, so I will be using them. The first deck is the Super Oracle from Usi, and the second one is the Materia Prima, an expression of matter. So I can't wait to share those messages with you. So without any further ado, I'll get started. The first card that I have here is the card called Release. Unfolding, relaxing, easing into the moment before us releases that frantic grip of time. The past and the future are always trying to influence our thoughts by pulling us away from ourselves and from the present. Making space for the moment requires releasing your burdens for a needed rest. This brings an abundance of yourself to you and widens out the space around you, strengthening with the cool, lasting breeze of the eternity that lifts you into a force of nature. Mighty, present, salvation, freedom, and courage. So that is a very poignant message here as we come into this full moon, that need for release, that need to tie off any commitments that you have made, to be able to make that space to explore what is in front of you and to explore what is around you. And that really allows your mind to not be chained to anything, to not have any needs or wants. And again, you can just fully embrace that space around you and the space in front of you. And even that space behind you, that hindsight is also really beneficial sometimes. You don't understand why things have happened until much later. So having that release allows you to look objectively from that meditative space to understand where you are in this present moment. So I think that's a really beautiful message. The second card I have here is the number 6 element of the periodic table, which is what the Materia Prima is based on, and it is carbon. Soft as graphite, yet strong as a diamond, Carbon is a versatile master builder, a goddess from a primordial cult whose divine regency in the world has deposited a life-supporting legacy that stretches across the universe. Hers is the power of alchemical versatility, so useful, so accomplished. She vies with hydrogen in mythical abundance. This charismatic queen whispers to being, in its hazy dream, the beauty of the physical potentialities, awakening life, spirit, joy, and tragedy. In her benevolent gaze, she recognizes being in all of its forms as essentially one of her kind. This inclusive, collaborative gift binds us to each other and our world and determines our fate based on mutual respect and understanding. Destiny, belonging, foundational, inspirational, accomplished. So again, I see that we are exploring this theme of potential and understanding that the present moment is full of creative energy that is just waiting for us to take hold of and to build our destiny, and to recognize that anything that you are feeling now is part of the greater whole. It's part of the very essence of being, and we have the ability to build on that and build on that and build on that, and there is absolutely no limit to our learning and our discovery. So I think that those are two very complementing cards for you for this week, and I will continue with a Rider-Waite reading for you as well. And the cards that I have in front of me here are the Strength card. I have the Five of Swords reversed, the Nine of Wands upright, and the Nine of Cups upright. And what I see here is that there is strength in acknowledging that what has been has been. If there has been any loss, you kind of have to take that in your stride. And, struggling for the sake of struggling with that Nine of Wands here is not going to bring you any closure. It's not going to bring you any release that you're looking for. It's not going to bring you any closer to who you want to be or where you want to get to, which is essentially that Nine of Cups here. And you just have to let the chips fall where they may, and that takes great strength in that you may feel like you have to keep fighting, you have to keep showing up, or you have to keep pulling this dead weight along with you, but it's actually it's better to just cut your losses, cut it off, and start afresh here, so that you can experience that Nine of Cups, the wish fulfilled, that happy motif of the man sitting there. And we also have the King of Swords here and the Fool reverse. And what this is saying to me is that you have to have that almost militant sort of command over yourself to pull back, to have that retreat, or to pull back. And that's something that a officer in an army has to discern, is when force needs to be applied, and when you kind of do have to cut your losses and recuperate and tend to any wounds, or tend to your men, so that you are not expending any energy unnecessarily as you go forward. And that retreat, or that retreat can actually bring you prosperity in the long run, because you haven't just completely extinguished all of your resources in the fight for the sake of struggling with that Nine of Wands here as well. And the Fool card reverse here just says to me that this is something that this is a tactic that you may have thought to be foolish, or just it didn't really hold any merit. You feel as though you should be brave enough to keep pushing, and anyone who retreats or surrenders or anything like that is just a fool, or just doesn't have it in them. And actually, you couldn't be any more wrong, in that someone who keeps going for the sake of going is actually the greater fool in the situation. And it will just lead to more and more heartache, or more and more energy lost or spent. And I also have the Hermit here and the Two of Wands, and I just see the Hermit and the Two of Wands together, in that you are understanding that what is going on inside of you is what is making the world outside of you, with that Two of Wands here. And you're starting to realize that this fighting, or this expenditure of energy, has left your world kind of smaller than you really wanted it to be. It's left your resources quite depleted, and therefore your outside world, your macrocosm, is quite depleted as well, in that you're not seeing the opportunities, or you're not able to have dominion over your world, because your internal battle was raging on and distracting you from that peace that you were really searching for, that peace that actually was needed in the retreat, instead of winning the battle. You can win the battle, but you lose the war overall. And essentially, you want to win the battles and win the war. And by retreating or by cutting your losses, you do actually win the war in the long run, because you may find that your enemy, or no, enemy is kind of a very extreme way to put it, but you may find that your counterpart, or the situation, or the obstacle, or whatever it is that you were butting up against, actually comes to you later on and wants to make a truce, wants to make a settlement, and it's actually for the greater good for both of you. And they understand the amount of effort that you put in, the amount of resources that you spent, the amount of mental energy and fortitude that you had to keep battling, and they may not take pity on you, but have compassion for you, in that they understand what it took for you to actually walk away, what it took for you to recoup, and they didn't see it as a sign of weakness. And in that, you can have that domain over your castle with that sense of dignity as well, which is what I see here with that two of wands. The world is small, but from that you can create more and more and more, because you haven't completely destroyed the world in your hand. You haven't completely destroyed yourself inside and out during these battles and during this war. You still have something that you can propel off of in this situation, and you may actually find a friend in your enemy during this time. And maybe that's exactly what you wanted to have. You actually wanted to come to some sort of agreement or some sort of truce with your enemy, or whoever it is that you are battling against, or whatever it is that you are battling against. You wanted to find that common ground and have that Nine of Cups, but you were just going about it the wrong way, with that battle mentality, that win all sort of militaristic outlook. So having that little retreat may spark some compassion in the other person that you are conflicting with, and you can actually come together in a more civil and direct manner, where you can actually you can actually work it out, and there's no loss of face, or loss of resources or energy or anything like that. You, instead of battling it out on the battlefield, you battle it out with your pens, or your minds, or those sorts of things that don't harm you in that sense. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you for listening. Bye.